Okay, here we go. I've got Sharon here with me, one of our Reach Your Peak clients. So, Sharon, if you want to introduce yourself and we can go from there.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. Hello, Adrian. I am in my seventh decade. At the beginning, just shifted into it. I'm a mum of two 20-something-year-old daughters, one 25, one 28. She's reminded me she's not 29. I've been married with my husband since 1996, but we first met in 1989 in Southend, no, 1988 in Southend. So we've been together quite a while. And I've had an interesting career in education, been on many curious adventures, and now I am retired from the world of work. And I invest in property. So I have a property investing business with my husband. I aim to do as little as possible in that. So I outsource. There is this saying, do what you do best and enjoy and outsource the rest. Accept what you are accountable for and responsible for. So that's what I do. I also co-host a local networking event for property investors, people interested in property or curious about it. I am a published author. I've contributed to 12 globally published books, and last year myself and my co-author Alex Zapala, based in Essex as well, where I live, we released 2 books aimed to help people like we used to be before we started investing in property. And I am a member of RYP as well.
Amazing. Love that. I love that. So look, let's go back to when you first started. What was the main reasons why you wanted to become a part of the program?
Why? Because I knew what to do, but I wasn't doing it. And I was stuck in a space that I needed to have an immersive experience and to get out of. I've always valued my health. My whole career was based on health and well-being. But I'd reached a point where, due to events that had happened in the last couple of years, that my weight had increased. And my husband described me as, was it a blob? I was as wide as I was. I was as wide as I was deep. And basically, the harpoon hunters looking for whales would easily be able to find me. So that was kind of, in his friendly little way, that he described me.
So you wasn't in shape you wanted to be, you wanted to improve your health and just feel better about yourself ultimately.
Yeah, I needed to get back to where I was when, I don't know if you remember those days called lockdown days when you could go out but not out, thanks to Boris. But on the 1st of January, 2020, before I knew whatever was going to happen in 2020, I sat down. I was in my daughter's house after a bottle of Tia Maria the night after the day before, and I thought, I need something. I need to do something. And suddenly this ping came up on my phone from quite a famous person we both know, and it offered the opportunity to do a body transformation program. I was 72 kilos then, or 71.5 kilos. So I thought, shit, I've asked for this and now it's got to come. So I committed to it. And I went down to 60 kilos. My aim was to be 60 and 60, yeah? And I made that. So I'd gone from 60 kilos in lockdown, and I kept active through what I did without going to a gym, actually. You don't need a gym. And I walked a lot. We went out, but not out, because we lived near the woods. So we walked a lot, and I got down to 60 kilos. But then what had happened last year, which was quite horrendous in my life, my family's life, with the stress, I put on the weight. So by November, I know I had to get my life back because my weight had shot up. I was quite shocked. I thought I was the same weight as before. I was 71.5 kilos. I discovered I was 76 kilos. And then what I did was that weekend before the 11th of the 11th, I put on all my trousers, and I only had one pair that fitted me, and they were stretchy. and the little muffin thing over the waist went over them. And I thought, I need to do something because I don't want to buy any more trousers because I like the clothes that I've got. So that weekend, I put all of my trousers that didn't fit me at all or even weren't comfortable at the top of my wardrobe. And I just had no choice really what to wear. I had one pair of jeans that I could go out in if I wore a top over it that hid what was there. And all my black lycra trousers that I went to the gym. So I was at that stage. If you can imagine, if you've been there, you will understand what I meant. But the other things were, it was having effects on my body physiologically that I wasn't happy with. And I've got some mirrors at home, I've got kind mirrors that make me look smaller than I am. So when I looked in them, I thought I'm not so big as I thought I was. Then when I matched up the pictures with the weight, there was a complete there was not integrity. There was a complete dissonance there. So what I saw, what I thought, and what I felt were not in alignment at all. And it weren't good because I didn't have any choice with the clothes that I put on.
So how was it making you feel when you was getting ready to go out each day? I know you're a property investor and you go to a lot of networking events and stuff like that. How was you feeling within yourself not being able to wear what you wanted to wear?
How did I feel? Sorry.
How did you feel before? Yeah.
Well, I'd wear things to hide my waist because I've got relatively slim hips and I'm only 5'3" and a bit. So if I wore the right clothes, I was quite skilled at hiding what I didn't want to show. Except somebody took a picture of me. It was, I don't know, November time from the side. And I thought, whoops, I didn't realise that had happened. So it's very interesting what you think, what you feel, what you see. And even the mirrors you look in, Michael Jackson sang that song, didn't he? The Man in the Mirror. But even none of the mirrors said the same. But the one thing that told me that the truth was my trousers. I mean, for a woman, and if you're heavier than me and your perceptions are different, please excuse me. But if I fit into a Marks and Spencer size 12, I'm way too heavy. Because Marks and Spencers are very generous with their trousers.
Different shops, different sizes, especially these.
Yeah, so to summarise, I would wear what I could to hide what I did, and no one could see, but the photos didn't lie.
Of course. And look, roll on to today. What have been your best wins since joining Reach Your Peak?
My best win, in terms of how I feel, when I walk, I'm not aware of my body. Okay. So it's that awareness. I said to you at the beginning, I want simplicity, alignment, and I don't want to be aware of anything to do with my body. In normal day life, it is what it is, which means that physiologically, my body is not reminding me that it shouldn't be where it is. So that for me is a feeling. In terms of what I can do, everyday things I do without thinking until I get a little nudge, like you shouldn't have done that because of a previous injury. I'm fitting in the trousers. I haven't fitted in all the trousers yet, but I did go out last week and I thought, I want to get some new clothes. So I got this green top, plus a few other things as well, because I don't think of my body. That's probably the best thing.
Yeah.
And I don't crave the food. So, yeah, that's the key thing. Not aware of my body.
Yeah. And now going to, like you said, you run a networking event. Now when you're getting ready in the morning, how do you feel differently about yourself now compared to back then when you was carrying too much weight?
I just get out of bed.
Yeah.
Whereas before I said, oh my God, I've got to lose that weight. So it's like I just get out of bed when I choose because I haven't got a job. I don't depend on my job for my main source of income. So sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't even get out of bed in the morning. But when I get up, I just, I feel at one with everything. And I don't think about anything really.
Yeah, amazing. And there's pros and cons to that, right? With waking up, because when you have to get up. You've got to be somewhere at a certain time, and then when you haven't, it's easy not to be productive. But yeah,
Yeah, I wanna, because I was in the education system from childhood, and then I was teaching, and then I had children, and then my children did early morning swims at Basildon and Phoenix Swimming Club at Basildon in Gloucester Park. I had to be for 3 or 4 years. My husband and I took it at terms. We had to be at that swimming pool for 5:15 in the morning at the latest, so they could start swimming at 5:30. So my whole life was built around timetables. So they'd keep me going for a bigger purpose. But it did get tiring after 50 odd years. So, but when on the 31st of January 2019 at 5 p.m., I left my old life behind, or so I thought. And one of the reasons that I did it was so I could go to bed when I wanted and wake up when I wanted. And I have a beautiful view from my bedroom. So I sit in bed that first day. I thought I could go to bed when I want, sit up when I want. And I didn't get up till 2 o'clock in the morning. And you have to create structure in your life and your purpose. You have to understand your values and your purpose. And you have to have a mission and a purpose that's much bigger than you to make you want to get up in the morning. And for me, I have that beautiful view. So I can sit there on my bed or in my bed to my heart's content and do what I want. And my cats, when they sit on my laps, there's no reason to get up. So I have to create a reason that's much bigger than me. In the beginning, it was dustbin day on a Wednesday. We had to make sure things were out. But now I've got more structure.
yes, yes,
So with being an entrepreneur and a business person, if you don't create that purpose, that reason, you won't get up. I rarely have phone calls early in the morning, but yeah, you're right. You are 100% correct.
yeah. And at the end of the day, you're still running your property business around your lifestyle as well, which still has things to be done. You're at a lot of networking meetings. You run your event as well. So yeah, you're doing amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you. And the thing about it, somebody asked me a question last night when I was at a networking event in London, and he said, "Well, what do you do?" And my immediate response was, "Well, as little as possible." And he burst out laughing. I don't know if you've ever had those moments when you say something and somebody bursts out laughing because it's quite ironical, it's comedic, it's satirical, it's like pantomime. And he just like couldn't stop laughing. And I said, yeah, that saying, I said, I outsource as much as I can do. So I do what I do, so I can do what I do. And that is playing the game of life, really. We are in a game of life. So, and if I do as little as possible, but do what I need to do or do what I love to do, it means that I can really do what I want to do and have fun. Even in my 7th decade in life.
It's all about working smart with time, isn't it? And the thing that we can't outsource is obviously our exercise. We have to do the work ourselves.
We can't outsource our exercise. No, we can't outsource our connections. Well, we can get people doing things. We cannot outsource the energy and the vibration, the energy, vibration, and frequency. We can't outsource that. We can't outsource the pheromones as somebody else may feel. So in order, if we know our highest values and our mission and our purpose, we can feed that with what we choose to do. And choice comes at a cost, like learning. We can't do our learning. We can shortcut and hack the learning through reading quick books, but we're shortcutting things we're giving up. We might get there quicker, like a race, but we're giving up on the experience, and through what we do, we become.
Yes, absolutely.
I've learned, you know.
Just on that as well, actually, because this will be valuable for people listening to this, is if you're struggling to take action with your health and well-being right now, what you can do is stack more benefits to it, so you start to value your health more, which is going to help you take more action as well. So, what have been like your favorite bits of Reach Your Peak as well? What's the biggest benefits of being a part of the group?
Do you know what? When I started, nothing was my favourite bit because I had to. Uh, there is this saying: you can't think yourself out of the way you've behaved yourself into, or what you've behaved yourself into, and you'd agree with that probably. Yeah. So basically, that means is if you're in a situation, thinking's great, the affirmations, etc., but you're still stuck where you are in your own little pile of whatever you want to call it. So my favourite bit, I think, is the fact that I had to. If I invested in that first 12 weeks, and I had to take action. And it is the accountability, it's the creation of a system. And the thing about accountability is it has to happen. And you have to record it in the information. So I loved writing it all down. I'm old fashioned, the 20th century writing things down. It took me a while to get used to the technology. And I bought myself a pedometer. So I quite like playing with the pedometer. And I could see the progress. I hated the pictures. I hated, or I didn't like putting the numbers in for the weight because it wasn't happening as fast as I wanted. So there was a lot I disliked, but I knew I had to do what I had to do to rise to the challenge. So I liked rising to the challenge. I liked looking forward to what I was creating because it was happening in my mind. And the other thing with accountability, you reach a point probably when you start an immersive program about 5 to 7 when you think, oh, it's never going to end. Oh, I'm not successful. But I enjoyed the fact that I was going to go through that period because the rewards are on the other side, week 8 to 12 onwards, and they sure showed. But the other thing with accountability is about not, if you do it on your own, you've got nobody else to talk to. And in your surroundings, if you've got people around you that aren't aligned with you, they can create sabotaging situations. And they go, oh, you've lost a bit of weight. You're all right. You're not that fat, blah, blah, blah. So what they do is they feed you and put you back in your comfort zone. So the other good thing is the accountability with you, but also with the other ladies in the group as well, because it was funny. Well, it was funny listening to their stories, and I was thinking, I'm not alone, but they've got different stories. So there's a whole range of things that I like.
Absolutely love that. Thanks, Sharon. And
All compounded, all compounded to create liking it.
love it, love it. And last question. I know you're a busy lady. There's going to be people watching this that are on the fence about joining Reach Your Peak. What would be your best advice for those kind of people?
Well, you got a choice, really. You can stay on the fence and you'll always get what you've always got. Was it Einstein that said that? Or you can make a decision with purpose, take action with purpose, and then with the decision and the action, you will then be working with your purpose, even if it's just for that 12 weeks, and you just persist through it and use the resources that are there. So what you're doing, if you choose to go ahead, because you know you've got to change things, you know you've got to transform, you know you've got to shift that way, you've got to shift that uncomfortableness, you've got to shift that fat, you've got to shift the stuff that's helping you towards your early grave. You don't know when that's going to be, and you will transform your life on a curious adventure and embrace the curious adventure. After all, it's only 12 weeks. But for 12 weeks, it's going to impact on the rest of your life, but not just your life. It's those around you as well. So you create more structure in your life. And you might not like it in the beginning, but then again, you got to choose your heart, haven't you?
Yes. Exactly.
Choose your hard of immersion, or choose your hard of staying on the fence and just staying as you were.
For
Is that the
sure.
answer?
I think that's powerful, to be fair. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And look, if anyone else has got any other questions for Sharon, I'm sure she wouldn't mind answering them for you. So yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, Sharon.
Thank you.